MegaWhale team, welcome to the first video today. We're going to be covering Bitcoin, we're going to be covering Polkamarkets and long-term projections of both coins. So first and foremost, a little bit about myself. I'm a full-time crypto day trader. I have been for close to 5 years, a little bit over 5 years, but I've been trading for about 7 years in total. All my experience is in technical analysis. I focus on charts, I focus on patterns and ratios and all of that cool stuff. I'm not too much into fundamentals. I do cover fundamentals a little bit on this channel, but mostly this channel is going to be dedicated towards technical analysis. So with that being said, click the links in the description, join our Twitter, join our Telegram, obviously subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be trying to do about 4 or 5 videos a week, maybe 1 market update and 4 technical analysis for altcoins. Other than that, we'll get straight into the video. So forgive me, my voice is a little raspy. I just woke up, I haven't had any food, I haven't had any water, just gonna get straight into the video because the market is making a bit of a move. So we're gonna start on a 15-minute chart. We have a look at this ascending triangle. We did break to the upside. Now the ascending triangle is naturally a bullish reversal pattern or a bullish continuation pattern. We do usually expect a move to the top side rather than a move to the downside. Although in periods of large selling pressure, we can notice further continuations downwards, so we would see something along the lines of that. Now, we did expect this to be a potential move. We did have it in the back of our minds, but we were more leaning towards a push up to the $52,000, $53,000 region, and we have seen a nice strong break in the last few hours over here. So this is still a potential. We'll get into it in a bit, but we're going to take a look at this move. So we had a nice strong bounce on the 200-day moving average. Again, a 15-minute chart, so we're not taking too much into account here. The most important factor is that we did break the $50,000 psychological resistance and the neckline of this triangle. So we do expect a move upwards to this range pretty soon, which is a critical range. This line here, we'll zoom out in a second, but this line is our long-term trend line. So our long-term uptrend line that we were in before, and you notice when we dropped this line, we crashed. So we need to reclaim that territory if we want to continue upwards. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting a little pullback, retesting that neckline, and then a bounce back upwards. All right, where we go from here, we'll get back into it in a little bit. Where we go from here will determine basically the long-term direction of Bitcoin. This is a very, very important level. Even though it's in the short term, it's a very critical level, and it's actually going to determine whether we continue and trend upwards or we head back down and potentially go into a full-blown bear market. So we'll take a look in a second, guys. First and foremost, I do want to show you this chart here. Let me just remove these because I was using that in the earlier video. But we can see this chart is our liquid index for Bitcoin. And I would argue that this is the most important chart in the entire market for Bitcoin. It's the most important chart you can look at. It tells you a lot, particularly this blue trend line over here. Now I have posted this chart a couple times, not too much, but I posted it a few times. So if you guys recognize this chart and familiar with it a little bit, that's a good start. So this trend line over here is our midline. Now we've noticed every time we break this midline, we have a full-blown bull market, guys. So particularly altcoins would explode. All right, Bitcoin usually rallies a fair bit, and we've seen this in the last 2 occasions. We saw this in 2013, and we saw it in 2017-18. So this is the 4-year cycle in terms on a log chart. So the question being is, was this break here the bull market, or do we expect a rally to a higher level? So that is kind of the question everyone's asking right now. And obviously there's no definitive answer to that. We just have to analyze the charts, read the charts and listen to what the charts are telling us and try and infer the best possible prediction based on that. So we're going to take a look at 2 different possible scenarios today. We'll have a look at the bullish scenario, and we'll actually step it back down and look at the worst case scenario, the bearish scenario, what would happen if we entered a bear market. And like I said, if we don't crack over $52,000, $53,000 and reclaim that trend line, so we'll show you. If we don't reclaim this trend line here, sorry, let me just delete that. If we don't reclaim this trend line here, and get back into this uptrend, we will most likely head down into a bear market. All right, and that's just the objective facts. That's what the charts are saying. We do have to keep a very close eye on that in the next few days. So coming back over here, we can see every time we've broken up and dropped back below this blue line, we go into a bear market, guys. We have an initial sell-off phase over here. So an initial pretty steep crash, and that's where everything loses like 80%, 90% of its value, especially altcoins. They get absolutely wrecked. A lot of people in that phase get absolutely wrecked and lose a lot of money. All right, and then that is a phase that basically scares people out of the market. We got this red phase here, so this is our accumulation bear market bottom phase. Now in this phase, a lot of people are basically scared. You know, there's a lot of fear in the market. The media isn't covering crypto much, and the little information they do cover crypto with is usually bearish news. A lot of people have been wrecked pretty badly. I don't know if you were around the 2017 or even 2016 bear market, and you held through that drop, you would have been down like 80-90%. I know a lot of people have only just recovered, and some people haven't even recovered from that drop. So guys, it's very bloody. It's very, very bad to be holding through that drop. We want to be selling before it gets to that point. All right, and we're at the deciding point at the moment. So the question is, are we repeating a similar fractal to here, where we have that initial drop, we pump back up, touch that blue trend line, and then continue down into a bear market? Are we going to repeat that fractal? Or are we going to repeat something similar to what we saw in 2013, where we had this initial move up, a little drop down that didn't touch the 200-day moving average, and then a pump up to continue the bull market to a new high? So those are two possibilities we're going to be taking a look at. So let's start with the bear market. If this is a bear market and we do continue downwards, where do we expect it to go? Well, we expect it to touch the 200-day moving average, just like it has every time. So the 200-day moving average will dictate the market bottom. It usually drops a little bit below. So we're going to be looking for a touch and a crash below, and that's going to indicate our bottom. So we're expecting, if this does go bear market, we will expect it to hit around $25,000 to $30,000. And we will see that touch happen, I would say mid 2022. I think or maybe even a little bit earlier. I think the bear markets and the bull markets are going to start shortening. Obviously the lengthening cycle theory, we'll cover that in a different video, but the bull markets and bear markets are going to start shortening length. They're not going to be as drawn out, or they're not going to last for as long. So we would expect a drop down, a retest, and then up. So the other scenario is we have this breakthrough again. So we had this fake out, we had this breakthrough, and I think we'll head around to $120,000 to $125,000. My original prediction for the bull market was $74,000. Now I made that prediction all the way back, I think it was the 8th of April. So I had my original trend line up over here. So this is the chart I had originally. I predicted on the 8th of April that we would crash down to $28,000 to $30,000. Again, if you want proof of that, join the link in the description, click the Telegram channel. You can scroll on back to the 8th of April, have a look at that signal we put out. We did a vertical analysis between the RSI and the MACD. And we also did a ratio analysis between different dates on Bitcoin. And we basically averaged out the percentage drops over the largest drops we've seen in the history of Bitcoin to find an average drop, which brought us right down to $28,000. And we also predicted that by the start of August, we would have reached our bottom. So we can see we dropped basically down to 28,500 over here. And by August, we were back in an uptrend and we had seen our bottom. Now guys, we predicted that like 3 or 4 months in advance. At the same time, we also predicted we would see a swing high after that would lead us up to 74,000. As you can see, my target was around over here, $74,000. The problem is my trend line was actually a little bit too high. I should have had it down over here. So if I had it down over here, it would have indicated that top was around $69,000. Again, for predicting something like 7 months in advance, that's a pretty accurate prediction. We're not always perfect trading. Remember, technical analysis shows us what's possible, but it doesn't tell us what's going to happen. Right? It shows us the possibilities. We need to infer using our own knowledge and our own experience based on what we've seen in the past to get a more accurate understanding of what's going to happen. All right, so again, coming back to this chart, this range here, $52,000, we have to break it. If we do break that zone, we will continue up out of this descending wedge, which is a bullish pattern, and most likely up to all-time highs. So that's the bull scenario. Again, the bear scenario, we fail to break, we drop back down to $43,000, and we can ultimately lead into a full-blown bear market, 25,000 and 30,000. All right. So if you get anything from today's video and you take anything away, is that $52,000 to $53,000 range, which we talked about earlier today. This range here is the most important range. We do need to break that range. So let's jump over to Twitter. So if you're not already following me on Twitter, come give me a follow. Our Twitter channel has absolutely exploded, man. It's exploded in the last few days. We went from like 4,500 followers to like 8,500 in like, I don't know, like 15 days. So guys, come give me a follow. We got a link over here. You can click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel. So you can click here to enter our Telegram channel. So let's just show you what the Telegram channel is real quickly. So this is our free Telegram channel. We post a lot of trade setups. We do market updates, other relevant information. We have a lot of stuff in here, guys. A lot of relevant information you can find in this channel. We also have our VIP channel. So obviously, if you want to join that, contact me through you can contact me through the free channel by clicking on my @ tag. We post a lot of trading setups over here. We aim for about 30 a month. We do daily market updates. You do have direct message contact with me. I can't always reply straight away. I do try to get through everyone, but I do get a lot of messages every single day. But that's always an option. So getting back to it, I want to go over one more thing today, and that is Polkamarkets. Now I know a lot of my followers absolutely love Polkamarkets. I'm a huge fan of Polkamarkets. It's definitely a sleeping giant. I haven't talked about it too much in recent months, only because we did grab it very cheap. I initially bought Polkamarkets at 18 cents, all the way at the bottom, and I know a few of my other followers got it down at 18 cents too, who knew about Polkamarkets at the time, but we did post our trading setup at 40 cents around over here in October, that red line. So since then we did actually pump up like 400%, so 5 times in value, and crashed down a lot. So guys, with these small market cap coins, I say it all the time, that these small market cap coins, you know, Polkamarket's only like $40 million, it will move very quickly and it will move in massive amounts. So it will rise a lot and crash a lot. It's a very low market cap. It doesn't have a lot of money backing it and holding the price where it is. So you will notice that the price movements are very exaggerated. So we posted this trade setup this morning. Again, you can find the full trade setup in the Telegram group, or you can go to the Twitter. And I think I posted like 4 or 5 tweets back, and you can find the full trading setup in Twitter with the exact targets of where we expect it to go. So we can see, zoom out a little bit. You may have noticed this pattern, this pennant. We saw a similar pennant on Curve on CRV, which ended up blasting about 120% up past, which we expect Polk to do eventually. But we'll take a look. Huge pennant. We've retested the bottom, so we had 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests over here. So our 3rd test, and we've actually held above that 200-day moving average, which is incredibly bullish, guys. We have our bottom out on the RSI over here, and we have our MACD converging, and it's very, very oversold right now. Incredibly oversold. I would be very shocked if this does not go up. Now, obviously, if Bitcoin decides to crash again and go down, well, obviously Polkamarkets is not going to rise. But if we can see Bitcoin push sideways a little bit, or we can see Bitcoin rise a little bit, we will actually see Polkamarket, what I think will do 200%, and it will come and touch this top of the trend line again. From there, we will notice it can definitely go much higher. Polkamarket's got huge potential. It's not listed on Binance. It's not listed on very major exchanges, so there's not a lot of money inflowing into it. Not a lot of 24-hour volume, guys. So when that volume picks up, Polk will move. It will move very quickly. Again, this isn't financial advice. If you decide to buy Polk, I would definitely recommend taking a look at the fundamentals and reviewing the technicals yourself. We're not taking a look at the fundamentals here today, purely just looking at the technicals. And if I was trading based on technicals alone, this is a very good entry. I personally have some Polkamarkets myself, not a lot, but I am definitely bullish on Polkamarkets in the future. I know a lot of my members in the VIP and even a lot of the free channel members, they absolutely love Polkamarkets, guys. So take a look at it yourself, and if you are considering trading it, this is a good a basis to go off on what we expect to happen in the future. So thanks for tuning into our first video, guys. Obviously this is the first YouTube video I've done, so it may have been a little bit rusty. I'm sure I'll get better over time. I'm planning on doing about 3 or 4 videos a week, maybe one market update and then a couple of altcoins on request. So let me know, send me a message over Twitter or send me a message on Telegram, which altcoins you want to do. I do know I have a lot of on-chain fans, so I will be doing a on-chain video sometime this week. Yeah. So don't forget to subscribe, come and join the link in the Twitter, and come and join the link for the Telegram. Thanks, guys.